if you're waking up 3, 4, even 5 times a night to urinate, if your stream has weakened to a hesitant trickle, if you find yourself standing at the toilet straining just to get started, listen closely, because despite what you've been told, this might not be just aging. It may be something far simpler and fixable. I'm talking about a nutritional deficit that silently inflames the prostate and stresses your bladder, a deficit most men over 60 don't even know they have. I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a board-certified urologist with more than 32 years in practice, helping men reclaim bladder control, sleep, and the grounded masculine confidence they thought was gone for good. I'll never forget Robert, 68, a retired firefighter. He said, "Doc, I used to run into burning buildings without fear, but now I'm afraid to leave my house because I might not find a bathroom in time." Here's what many doctors won't say out loud. A lot of older men aren't facing an untreatable prostate problem. They're facing inflammation and oxidative stress that can be calmed and reversed with the right, consistent nutritional support. The solution doesn't start in a pharmacy. It starts in your kitchen. Today, I'll show you the powerful fruit and the supporting nutrients that can help shrink prostate inflammation, restore a stronger urinary stream, and give you back quiet, uninterrupted nights. Stay to the end because I'll also reveal the #1 mistake that sabotages natural approaches and how to avoid it starting tonight. Before we dive in, hit subscribe and ring the bell. This channel exists for men over 60 who want practical, evidence-informed strategies to protect their prostate, their sleep, and their quality of life, things you rarely get time to discuss in a 7-minute office visit. If nighttime bathroom trips, urgency, and a weak stream are your reality, type 1 in the comments so I know you're here and I can tailor future videos for you. If you're watching for a father, brother, or friend, or this isn't your situation, type 0 and tell me what men's health topics you want covered next. All right, let's get right into the most overlooked nutritional powerhouse that can calm prostate inflammation from the inside out. Let me introduce Walter, 72, a retired high school principal. The kind of man whose posture and handshake say, "I've got this." Yet when he sat down in my office, his shoulders were low, his eyes tired. "Doctor," he began, "I wake up 6 times a night. My wife thinks I'm checking the doors. I'm not. I'm terrified to admit I can't control my bladder. I feel like I'm losing my manhood one sleepless night at a time." That sentence, "I'm losing my manhood," is heartbreaking and common. But Walter's turning point wasn't a prescription or a laser. It was something already in his kitchen. The deep red pomegranate. Chronic inflammation and oxidative stress make the prostate swell. Imagine a garden hose with a thumb pressed over it. That's your urethra with a swollen prostate around it. Most men chalk it up to age, but a huge percentage of men over 60 run low on the specific antioxidants that calm inflammation in the prostate. Pomegranate is especially rich in punicalagins, polyphenols with unusual potency and persistence. These compounds don't just float in your bloodstream, they're metabolized into urolithins that reach tissues, including the prostate, where they reduce inflammatory signaling and neutralize free radicals that damage cells. It's not hype, it's chemistry. How to use it simply. Aim for 1 cup of fresh pomegranate arils daily, or 8 Oz of 100% pure pomegranate juice. No blends, no added sugar. If buying bottled, choose unsweetened and not from concentrate when possible. Fresh is fantastic. Score the rind, break it in a bowl of water, separate the arils from the white pith, which is bitter, then drain. He set an alarm for his evening routine, poured 8 ounces of pure juice over ice, and ate a small bowl of arils with a handful of walnuts. In 6 weeks, he called the office, voice bright, "Doc, I slept through the night for the first time in 3 years. When I go, the stream is strong like my 40s. His next check-in showed a drop in urinary symptom scores, fewer awakenings, and a calmer PSA trend. Did pomegranate cure a lifetime of physiology? Of course not. But by lowering oxidative stress and inflammation, it helped relieve pressure on the urethra and gave his bladder a chance to behave like it's supposed to. B-roll of seeding a pomegranate in water, macro shot of arrows hitting a bowl, dissolved to a calm night clock ticking past 2 a.m. without a man getting up. Calming inflammation is step one, but your prostate also needs raw material to regulate growth and repair. That's where a quiet mineral makes a loud difference. Paul, 65, a retired pilot, had tried everything. Saw palmetto, pumpkin seed oil, a prescription or two. His stream kept weakening, sleep kept fracturing. "Doc," he said, "I flew jets for 30 years. I understand systems, checklists, troubleshooting, but my body isn't responding. What am I missing?" We ran a micronutrient panel. His zinc status, bottom 10% of normal. The prostate contains more zinc than any organ in the male body, with concentrations many times higher than in blood. Low zinc can mean the prostate's enzyme systems that regulate growth and temper inflammation are sputtering. It supports enzymes that govern cell growth and differentiation, vital for keeping prostate tissue from over-proliferating. It modulates 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT. Excess DHT drives enlargement. Balanced signaling supports a calmer gland. It influences immune balance in prostate tissue, shaping how aggressively your body responds to everyday stressors. As men age, dietary patterns shift, stomach acid may decline, medications can interfere, and our soils are less mineral dense than without any obvious clue until the prostate complains. What to do? Oysters, grass-fed beef, lamb, wild salmon, sardines, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas. Rotate them. For therapeutic support, many men do well with 15-30 milliquarners day of zinc picolinate or zinc glycinate, forms that absorb better than zinc oxide. On an empty stomach for best uptake, if queasy, take with a small snack. Avoid taking zinc at the exact same time as iron or calcium, which compete for transport. At higher, longer-term zinc intakes include 1 to 2 mg copper several days per week, per clinician guidance. At 8 weeks, he said, it's like someone opened a stuck valve. The hesitation was gone. The stream was stronger, and he was sleeping 7 hours straight most nights. At 4 months, ultrasound measurements suggested a modest reduction in volume, and he felt physically lighter. He also noticed better daytime energy because zinc participates in hundreds of metabolic reactions, not just inside the prostate. Don't megadose. More isn't better. Stay within sensible ranges and coordinate with your clinician, especially if you take medications or have anemia. Zinc feeds the machinery. Next, we install a dedicated shield around prostate cells so they can repair without constant damage. James, 69, a retired carpenter, built houses that outlast storms, but his own body felt beyond repair. His urologist had floated surgery. "Doc," he asked me, "is there anything natural that actually works, or am I kidding myself?" We looked at his diet logs. Virtually no lycopene. Lycopene is the deep red carotenoid in tomatoes, watermelon, and pink grapefruit, and it accumulates in prostate tissue more than in most organs. Its job? Neutralize free radicals, reduce oxidative DNA stress, and support healthy cell turnover so tissue can remodel in a controlled way. Lycopene hides inside plant cell walls. Heat breaks those walls, and fat escorts lycopene across your gut lining, boosting absorption severalfold. Simple, delicious implementation. Tomato paste. 2 heaping tablespoons daily stirred into soups, stews, scrambled eggs, or a quick marinara. Homemade sauce. Simmer crushed tomatoes with extra virgin olive oil, garlic, basil, a pinch of salt. Watermelon and pink grapefruit, outstanding add-ons, especially in warm weather. Pair with healthy fats, olive oil, avocado, walnuts to dramatically improve uptake. James's results. 10 weeks in, he said, "Doc, the pressure feeling is gone." He was emptying fully, urgency eased, and nighttime awakenings dropped. At his 6-month visit, his symptom score had improved enough that surgery was off the table for now. He was sleeping, smiling, and planning a trip he'd canceled twice because of bathroom anxiety. Chef's tip for editors: quick overhead of a skillet, olive oil shimmer, spoon of tomato paste, garlic bloom, basil tear, on-screen caption, heat plus fat, lycopene bioavailability. Bridge. We've calmed inflammation, fed the machinery, and armored the cells. Now we need to deliver nutrients and oxygen to the pelvic floor and prostate efficiently. That's circulation. Gerald, 71, a former school principal, had a supplement shelf that looked like a health food aisle, yet symptoms barely budged. When we reviewed his food journal, the gap was obvious. Very little omega-3, lots of seed oils and processed snacks, an inflammatory imbalance that chokes microcirculation. Omega-3s, especially EPA and DHA, support the formation of resolving mediators that help your body turn off inflammation at the right time. They also support endothelial function, how well blood vessels dilate, critical for getting nutrients and oxygen where they need to go, including the prostate and pelvic floor. What to aim for? Fish on the plate, salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, 3 times per week, 4 Oz portions. Supplement if needed. A high-quality fish oil or algae oil providing 1,000–2,000 nanomolar combined EPA plus DHA daily. Choose wisely. Look for third-party testing for purity and oxidation, TOTOX values. Fresh oils don't smell fishy. Balance the ratio. Reduce high omega-6 seed oils, corn, soybean, cottonseed, and ultra-processed foods. Replace with olive oil and real foods. Gerald's turning point: 4 weeks after adding EPA DHA and cleaning up his cooking oils, he said, "It's like the system turned on." Urgency eased, the start-stop pattern faded, and the other nutrients he'd been taking finally moved the needle. His inflammatory markers improved, and he reported steadier energy and mood. If you're on blood thinners, coordinate omega-3 dosing with your clinician. Bridge. We've optimized delivery. The last targeted lever? Keeping hormonal signaling in the prostate calm and balanced. Frank, 64, a retired engineer, loves optimization. He had pomegranate, zinc, lycopene, and omega-3s dialed in, but his progress plateaued. The missing piece was hormonal tone, specifically how fast his body was converting testosterone to DHT inside prostate tissue. Green tea, especially its catechin EGCG, helps modulate 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme that turns T into DHT. We're not trying to annihilate DHT. Men need some. We're trying to avoid excess inside the prostate. Practical ways to get it: brew 3–4 cups of high-quality green tea daily, loose leaf or whole leaf sachets. Steep at 75–80 degrees, 170–175 degrees, for 2 to 3 minutes to keep it smooth and potent, or use a standardized extract providing 300–400 milliliters EGCG per day, ideally in divided doses with food if you're sensitive. Frank's 8-week check-in. Finally, everything clicked. Urinary flow steadied, urgency receded, and his nights were quieter. The combination of inflammation control, cellular protection, circulation support, and hormonal balance worked like a well-coordinated crew. Safety sidebar: concentrated green tea extracts are potent. Use reputable brands and avoid megadoses. Rarely, high doses on an empty stomach can irritate the GI tract. Take with food if needed. Think of your prostate plan like rebuilding a sturdy home. Pomegranate is your fire suppression system. It knocks down inflammatory hot spots so repair crews can work. Zinc delivers the building materials and the foreman's clipboard, enzymes and cofactors that keep growth orderly. Lycopene is the weatherproofing, a shield against oxidative storms that would otherwise shred your progress. Omega-3s are the roads and fuel lines, keeping delivery routes open and flexible so oxygen and nutrients arrive on time. Green tea, EGCG, is the zoning board, making sure hormonal signals don't push your house to expand in all the wrong ways. When you stack these, smart forms, right doses, consistent timing, you're not just managing symptoms, you're restoring system balance. Men who combine them often notice fewer nighttime awakenings, stronger flow, less urgency, and a steady lift in confidence because their bladder and prostate finally start acting like a team again. Add supportive lifestyle, hydration, a protein-forward Mediterranean-style plate, walks after meals, strength training, stress reduction, and regular sleep, and you've created a foundation that keeps working long after this video ends. The biggest saboteur isn't ignorance, it's inconsistency. Men try a nutrient for 2 or 3 weeks, don't see fireworks, and quit. But prostate tissue changes slowly. Think 6 to 8 weeks for early, meaningful shifts, 3 to 6 months for structural improvements and steadier nights. Other common pitfalls: wrong forms, zinc oxide instead of picolinate glycinate, green tea blends with tiny EGCG instead of standardized extract, pomegranate cocktails loaded with sugar instead of 100% juice or fresh arils. Lycopene sources without fat, which cripples absorption. RDA thinking RDAs prevent deficiency. They're not always therapeutic for an inflamed, enlarged organ. Work with your clinician on adult-appropriate ranges. Trying to out-supplement a pro-inflammatory diet. You can't pour fish oil onto a plate of ultra-processed food and expect miracles. Seed oil-heavy snacks. Track your nighttime awakenings, urgency, hesitancy, stream strength, and how rested you feel. Adjust each 4-8 weeks. Interactions ignored. If you're on anticoagulants, have liver disease, or complex meds, coordinate with your clinician. Natural doesn't mean interaction-free. Do the basics right, even modestly, and you'll stop wasting money and start gaining traction. Your daily prostate health routine: morning pomegranate, 1 cup fresh arils or 8 Oz 100% pure juice with breakfast. Zinc, 15-30 milligrams, picolinate, glycinate. Try on an empty stomach. If queasy, add a small snack. Green tea, 1-2 cups brewed. If using extract, take first dose, part of total 300-400 milligrams EGCG day, with food if you're sensitive. Lunch, lycopene, tomato-based dish with olive oil. Think soup, stew, or a quick marinara over grilled vegetables or whole grain pasta. Salad upgrade, toss in pumpkin seeds for extra zinc and drizzle with olive oil. Dinner, omega-3s on the plate, salmon, sardines, or mackerel, 3x week. On non-fish nights, take a 1,000-2,000 EPA plus DHA supplement. Green tea, another 1 to 2 cups, or your second extract dose, with the evening meal. Every day, fundamentals hydration. Keep urine pale, straw-colored. Walking 10-15 minutes after meals to support circulation and metabolic health. Strength, 2 to 4 sessions per week. Squats, hinges, pushes, pulls. 2 to 4 sessions. Sleep, protect a calm pre-bed routine. Dim lights, wind down. Weekly planning. Buy 3 to 4 servings of fatty fish. Stock tomato paste, olive oil, green tea, pomegranates. Refill supplements before you run out. Keep a simple symptom log: awakenings, urgency, hesitancy, stream strength, weak, moderate, strong, and how rested, 110. Consistency isn't complicated, but it is a commitment. Your prostate has been under pressure for years. Give it steady support and time to repair. Let me speak to you directly. You've built a life, worked hard, carried responsibility, protected people you love. Seeking solutions isn't weakness. It's leadership over your health, your sleep, your relationships, and your sense of self. Today you met 5 allies: pomegranate, the inflammation fighter; zinc, the cellular generator; lycopene, the repair catalyst; omega-3s, the circulation key; green tea, EGCG, the hormone balancer. They're not fads. They're targeted supports for the root problems: inflammation, oxidative stress, poor microcirculation, and hormonal imbalance that make prostates swell and bladders misbehave. Build them into your days, and you're choosing restoration over resignation. Quieter nights, easier days, fewer anxious glances for the nearest bathroom, and the simple dignity of feeling in control again. You don't have to move mountains. You need consistent, intelligent inputs and a little patience. 4 to 6 weeks for the early wins, 3 to 6 months for solid ground. The stories you heard, Walter, Paul, James, Gerald, Frank, are ordinary men who chose to act and now sleep, travel, and live without the constant bathroom clock in their heads. If this helped you, like the video and share it with a brother, a friend, a teammate who's suffering in silence. Drop a comment telling me which nutrient you'll start today, or share what's worked for you. Your story might be the nudge another man needs. And if you want more step-by-step urologist-led guidance for men over 60, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're building a community of men who age with vitality, dignity, and confidence. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Remember, you have more influence over your prostate health than you've been led to believe. The capacity to heal is there. Sometimes you just need the right nutritional keys to unlock it. Stay strong, stay informed, and take action. Your future self will thank you.